up, everybody, and welcome back to Challenge Accepted right here on the Fumble. I'm your host, Jackie Ray. You can follow me on all things social media at JRay the Fanatic. And look who we have. Now, if you guys follow us on every single morning, Monday through Friday on the Fumble Live, one of the names that we call out from the chat a lot is Kevin Pryor, and he is joining us now on Challenge Accepted. He's also the host and producer for 950 Lounge. Hey, Kev.
Hey, Jackie, how you doing? It's a good thing to be with you this morning. What's going on?
I'm doing good. You already representing for the Knicks. I see that.
Listen, I wear this proudly. Like I said, even the Larry Brown 19 win year when I had season tickets, it was horrible. Wear it proudly. So I'm a Knicks fan. You know, it's all good. It's what I wear.
First round exit and all. Now, you do remember that I said Knicks would be a first round exit. Am I going to get my credit for being right? Let's just start it off right now. Do I get my credit?
Listen, credit where credit is due. I'm a responsible Knicks fan, which I have been called on the Fumble many times. Yes, you will get your credit. My thing is this, and you guys are kind of, you and Devin are rough on Knicks fans, but 8 years in the desert, even Moses would be thirsty. 8 years in the desert, no playoffs, the second to last lowest payroll in the league. Listen, we got every ounce of juice out this team. After a year of COVID, I couldn't be proud of this bunch, and the future is extremely bright.
All right, well, I agree. And, we did change our tune a little bit with regards to Knicks fans and Knicks. So we changed a little bit. We was a little softer on you guys, but not going to be as soft on this next one. So we're going to start right off the top with Challenge Accepted, because we're going to challenge some thought processes in the world of sports that we may or may not agree with. I can't wait to hear Kevin's take on this one. But this one hits home for me because, it was not too long ago, Woj had reported that Frank Vogel was going to possibly get an extension. And I don't like that idea because I definitely don't like what I saw from him in these playoffs and his inability to switch players out properly and his lack of time management and not limiting LeBron's minutes before he got that injury. Nothing he did this season really spoke to me as being a great coach. He's on a 3-year deal, which is 2 years less than what most coaches get. He's in the final year of his contract, and Rob Pelinka says he sees a long-term future with Frank Vogel and the Lakers. And I've always said that you needed a healthy LeBron and AD, and I just don't think that he managed those two properly. So I'm gonna challenge this thought process from Pelinka, and I don't think he needs to stay. I think he needs to go expeditiously. Kev, what do you think?
Well, I'm gonna quote the great Aaron Rodgers and say, relax.
RELAX. Relax.
You guys just put a banner up a few weeks ago from last year. The man won a championship. Yes, he's got a lower deal because technically he wanted to get back in the league. He's coaching one of the greatest players of all time.
Yep.
Unfortunately, AD got hurt. It happens. Solomon Hill, if you want to send hate mail, send to Atlanta to Solomon Hill. He's the one who destroyed your season.
I was playing some of the best basketball of my career before the injury, and it wasn't like a self-inflicted wound. It wasn't something that I could control. It's not like I wasn't putting in the work and then, my body failed me. I literally had a grown man diving at my leg for a loose ball, and here's the injury.
But again, I think, and I've been counseling Laker fans. I don't know, they should be counseling me. I've been counseling a lot of Laker fans over the last week, and I'm like, look, it ain't really all that bad. You got LeBron. It's a win now because he's 3-40. Okay, AD, you got to, work on, a conditioning plan, get him a trainer, get him a special cook, keep him out the hamburgers and, the fat burgers and all that on the West Coast. Again, you don't have a lot of money to play, but you can always get those mid-level veterans that want to go for a ring. It's not that bad. You got a great support coaching system. Phil Haney's one of the best in the business. You still got J Kidd there, Lionel Hollins. It ain't that bad. I know y'all used to winning, so you lost the first round, and your neighbors in the Staples Center basement, and now taking the main floor for the rest of the playoffs.
That's that bad, Kev. That is that bad. The little brother's supposed to get this beat down. They're supposed to catch these hands. This ain't right. Mavs let me down. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. And now little brother made it out the first round and we didn't. No,
this would be a blessing in disguise for you guys.
How
it's a blessing in disguise.
How
because
so?
again, The Lakers won the championship. They went up to October in the bubble. Very stressful, away from family. 6 weeks later, they turn around and play. You got Asian superstars, and you got another superstar who's injury prone. Injuries happen. Things went down. COVID was still around. So now you get a full off season. LeBron gets to go enjoy Space Jam. They get the rest. I don't know. I'm assuming I'm gonna be in Summer League myself this year in Vegas. I'm assuming they're starting the season probably in November, maybe early December. They'll be ready and hunted for bear, and you'll have a extra motivated LeBron. I don't know how that can happen, but he'll be extra motivated. You guys will be fine. The West will get tougher. The Wild Wild West ain't getting no easier, but LA, LeBron is still going to be LeBron, even at 37. I'm convinced that he'll come back stronger than ever. So you're fine.
You think I'm tripping, Frank?
Yes.
Uncle Sugar,
Yes.
Wait. A contract extension, though?
Listen, the man won a championship. I don't know if it was on your show, but I've heard people say about titles. The man's won a championship. And by the way, let me just say a couple of names for you. I'm going to test you. You a LeBron.
Here we go.
Brendan Malone. Mike Brown, David Black.
I see what you're doing.
Popovich and Pat Riley and Red Holzman, Knicks fan. They're not walking through that door. LeBron is a basketball savant. It's not really about coaching at this stage for him. It's partnering. It's being a partner. Similar to what Phil Jackson did with Jordan and Kobe and Shaq. You got to partner with these guys. LeBron is not 18th year in the league. He ain't trying to get somebody. He's not trying to work with a Thibodeau. So you got to know the coach. So again, I think if things were different, if Jay Kidd didn't have his issues, he'd probably be the head coach. You got Frank Vogel. He won you a championship. He put a banner in Staples. Give him credit for that. He deserves another contract.
Okay, Kevin called me out because I'm one of those people that I always that's my sadness. The only ounce of sadness I have about LeBron's career is he's never had that really dope coach. Sometimes you get that in college. That's one of the reasons why I love Coach K so much, is because he's that guy. He just really inspires players. And LeBron's never had that. LeBron's always been, his basketball IQ has either been higher or he's just kind of running the show. And I've always wanted him to have a dope coach that can coach him. But maybe Kev's right. Maybe that's just a ship I have to let sail.
And that actually makes him even greater because, again, if you look at Jordan had Dean Smith. Even for a moment, D-Wade had Riley.
Right.
So these guys had, these mentors. LeBron pretty much had the brother from St. Vincent, St. Mary, and, just on his own talent. So that even, to me, makes him even a greater when you think about all the things he's done. So salute to that man, but you guys will be fine.
Half mark for LeBron, though. Okay, I'm gonna try to relax, Frank. I literally have been cursing the ground that you walk on, but I'm gonna stop because Kev said I should. I know, right? All right, let's move on to the fan challenge now. Now we're going to challenge some thoughts for some fans, and we kind of talked about this on Monday on the Fumble Live. This one kind of bothers me because I think really you guys are ridiculous in your thinking right now. But as you know, the Trailblazers were out almost in the first round, and almost immediately Coach Terry was out as well. And right after that, Damian Lillard came out and he was like, I want Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd ultimately was like, nope, let me withdraw my name from that hat. And he kind of cited the reason for that being that he thought it would be a bad look since Dame kind of called him out specifically, that now if he comes over there, it's going to look some type of way. This is the first time in my life anyone's ever cared about that kind of thing, because we know that players nowadays, we live in a culture where they can say what they want and they can ultimately get what they want. So that was an interesting standpoint from him. But then I saw all these people on Twitter that are basically citing something that happened in his past as the reason why he is no longer going to be in the running for this. So his name, let me just be clear, Jason Kidd's name is still in the head coaching position circles. Chris Haynes posted this tweet to Twitter saying Los Angeles Lakers assistant coach Jason Kidd and former Atlanta Hawks coach Lloyd Pierce are expected to be head coaching candidates for both Boston Celtics, league sources tell Yahoo Sports. So his name is still in the circles. I don't want Twitter to think that they actually got the upper hand in this situation, but they are trying, because the fan base, neither Celtics fans or Trailblazers fans, seem to be really keen on Jason becoming a head coach. This Blazer fan says, good. He should withdraw his name from all coaching vacancies and, in fact, the NBA entirely. That would be delightful. This one says, this Celtics fan says, no, withdraw from Celtics job, please. And then this user posted a photo from Jason's 2013 DUI with the caption, as a Celtics fan, I'm all set on Jason Kidd. And then this one says, he hits women too, has zero business coaching in the league, not to mention he's not that great at it. This is insane to me. That domestic violence charge happened in 2001. He was suspended at that time. He got counseling. DUI, like I said, was in 2013. He went to alcohol classes for that, was suspended and fined for that. This is too much to be saying this man shouldn't be able to succeed now for something that happened 20 years ago. I think these fans are being ridiculous. Kevin, what do you think?
You know, I agree with you, but, you know, obviously, first and foremost, you know, what Jason Kidd did is totally unjust, and it must be said. But on the flip side, I think this man has made some changes in his life. He's paid those dues, and he's going through it. Again, he left. I mean, I remember back in the day, before the Nets were what the Nets are now, they sent him, you know, the Suns sent him to New Jersey for purgatory, sent him pretty much to basketball Siberia. So he definitely has paid that, but he's overcome those challenges. I think, again, it's, you know, when you mention these two franchises, I think it's really funny because the Portland Trailblazers at one point were called the Portland Jailblazers.
Right.
Like, you know, like, I mean, like, the nerve of these fans to say, like, you know, they had central booking, you know, in the locker room, like, yo, you know, got the Bells bondsman right here, you can play tonight. And then Boston, don't get me on Boston.
Yes.
This is a family show. We don't have enough time for Boston and that fan base. So, I think, again, it's a lot of nerve. I mean, this man has paid his dues. Again, I'm happy because Jason is African-American and he's getting possibly a third shot. Because we've seen it happen, like with Silas in Houston, a lot of these other coaches, they get one shot and they're asked to be miracle workers to take the Bad News Bears to the championship. Doesn't happen that way. And then they're out of a job and then they're looked upon as a failure. So I'm happy to see that he's in the circles and he deserves a second shot. And I will say, even though we're talking about Jay Kidd, you know, Sam Cassell, I'm glad you said Lloyd Pierce. I think he's a fantastic coach. Just didn't work out in Atlanta, but I think he deserves a second shot. And give my man Mark Jackson a job. We're talking about Nick, you know, fraternity. Again, like I said, we could talk about that a whole different show.
Right.
But
I agree with you. There's no reason that someone like Mark Jackson should be calling games for us while we watch. He should be coaching somewhere. And the fact that he was blacklisted because he spoke his mind and he was vocal, this once again shows that the rope that you have to hang yourself with when you're black in the NBA is much, much shorter. And that needs to change. So that's why I do want to shout out Damian, though, because that was one of those things that I agreed with Stephen A. on. These black players, you guys need to be vocal about you want somebody who's black coaching you. Because you do have all the power. So whether this happens or not, I don't really care. I was proud of Dame stepping up and saying, you know, let's do this, because we know Kyrie, KD, and James Harden didn't do that.
Well, like I said, you know, we're not going to go there. I think everybody knows what we're talking about.
Right. All right. So now let's get to the best part of the show. We're going to get to challenge issued. Now, let me let you know, Kev, you do not have to accept this challenge. I feel like I have to say that because I accepted so many challenges the first month and I have to pay all these out. I need to accept that too. I don't have to accept these challenges, but I'm going to issue a challenge to you because I know you're a Knicks fan, and I feel like Knicks fan base, y'all just hate Trae Young, and I don't like that.
But really true, but I'll let you. That's not really true. I'll let you.
Okay, but y'all put out flyers about the man's hair, though.
Listen, I can't talk about hair. That so that, you know, even this works for me. This is a process. So don't get it twisted. But I mean, again, listen, Trae Young he was the opponent. I think a lot of Knicks fans, including myself, felt like, you know what, if we get that 4. We would, you know, and we got Atlanta because we didn't want Miami. We definitely didn't want Milwaukee, that we would beat Atlanta. Atlanta is a very good team. Yep. I'm impressed with Atlanta. Salute to Nate McMillan and that group. Collins and them boys are really, and Trae is, you know, Trae will always be linked to Luka, your baby goat. And I'm happy for Trae from a standpoint that he's coming out that shadow, that he's showing himself. So, but in any event, I digress.
All right, so this is going to make my challenge not as painful now because I thought you were going to give some Trae slander. So
I still don't like him, but because he beats Knicks. But I mean, you know, I can respect his talent.
Okay, so they won game one. They almost beat themselves, but they did win game one in this series. Now, if they come out of this series victorious, I need you to change your IG and your Twitter handle to TRAE owns the Knicks. And then I need you to make sure that this avatar of TRAE, swimming in the sea of Knicks haterism, that needs to be your avatar.
Gotta get my New York card taken away.
You can let people know that you lost the bet. But that's the challenge.
We don't lose bets here and there. I'm from New York City. But I will accept that bet because they're not beating Philly. If you look at the game yesterday, they did win. They gave up a 26-point lead. This is a playoff series. Adjustments will be made. I'm a big fan of Doc Rivers. I think he'll be a little nicked up. He'll get together. The hacker Ben, I know Ben can't, if somebody had a gun in somebody's head, he couldn't hit a jump shot to save somebody's life. But I think Philly will still prevail, and I will take that bet.
Okay, challenge accepted. Now, I'm a little nervous because I told Kev I wanted the surprise factor because usually I tell people, you're going to tell me challenge first, but I don't know what I'm about to get.
Well, let me say this, Jackie Ray, and I've gotten to know you a little bit now, so it's truly a pleasure. You're very talented at what you do. But as you see behind your shoulder there, you got the LeBron, posted. You wore the LeBron dress, I think, a while back. So obviously, even in the Cleveland days, need some Miami stuff there. But LeBron James is your GOAT.
If I tilt up.
Oh, there you go. See, I spoke too soon. So LeBron James, unequivocally, he's the GOAT. Okay, but if your roommates, I should say, the LA Clippers, who also won game yesterday in game 7 and move on, if they beat the Utah Jazz, you, Miss Jackie Ray, have to put on your social media, and I give you a pass, Instagram or Twitter, you take your pick.
Okay.
And on the Fumble,
have
to clue a segment that says Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Why do people always default to this Michael Jordan? Y'all know I can't stand Michael Jordan.
That's why it's a bet. So will you accept that? Now, again, Utah, very good team. Gobert, who you're a fan of.
Yep.
D. Mitchell, New York stand-up, doing his thing. I think, and then obviously Jordan Clarkson, 6 Man a year. I don't think it's a cakewalk. This is not a bet that necessarily, I go in strongly for, I do like you a little bit, and I know that would be hard. But I do believe that, the Clippers, even though it shouldn't have taken them this long, and shame on Dallas, you're up 2-0 going home and you lose a series, and I know you guys mentioned all that about Kristaps Porzingis. Thank God he's gone from blue and orange. But yeah, again, it's a tough series, but it's a good bet. I think it's a good bet.
If they Clippers win this series, I have to do what exactly?
You have to do a segment on the Fumble.
Okay.
Talking about Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Sometimes I see, here's me, that he is the GOAT. And on Instagram or Twitter, you take your pick. Facebook's not included in this bet. Instagram or Twitter, you have to post for a week, 7 days, 7 whole days, Tony Braxton, Michael Jordan. You have to put in your name because you're a businesswoman. I ain't gonna mess up your money. But in your description, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, I need the Jeffrey in it as well, is the GOAT.
And how long does this have to stay there? Just
7
1 day?
whole days.
7 whole days. Oh, Lord. But I really don't want to take that bet because I do believe y'all know I love me some Rudy Gobert. I think I'm probably the only one in the world who loves Rudy Gobert the way that I do. I definitely expect him to step up, and I definitely expect I expect that whole Utah franchise to step up and do what they need to do. Watch the tape, not let the Clippers go on any kind of 24-4 run. I definitely expect that from them. But a whole week.
Hey, listen.
That's not. I can't even get a word. I can't even get a sentence.
Look what you're doing to me, though. Listen, I am the poster child, and I didn't even really try to be that. It's just I'm a fan, and when the game is on, I could be extra. When the game is over, I go back to my mild-mannered professional self. But everybody's, oh yeah, Knicks fan family, knocking me. Oh, Knicks is gonna break your heart. So Knicks can't break my heart. We have the second lowest payroll in the league. It's the land of misfit toys. We took lemons and made country time. So my theory is there's nothing you can say to me on that. So I wanted to win, but I'm good. Now on the flip side, I could have said the Nets series. I didn't do that.
Right.
Definitely didn't do that. That's not gambling. You know the Nets are going to the finals, and I'm hearing everybody every day. I see a new Brooklyn fan. I couldn't find them 3 months ago.
Right.
But again, this is a series where you have some admiration. It's fandom there. Gobert, like I said, D. Mitchell, who I think is coming on. I think actually Utah might win the series, but for the sake of the bet, and I know it was sting because the Clippers are keeping the padlocks off the Staples Center.
Right.
Hey.
Can I negotiate the time? Can I make it 24 hours?
How about 3 days, 72 hours?
Okay.
That's in the middle. It's in the middle.
Okay. All right. I challenge begrudgingly.
And you gotta tag me when you do it, so I know when the clock starts. Because I'm gonna win the bet. Because Philly gonna definitely win that series. Atlanta cannot continue to shoot that well, and I'm not worried about that.
All right. Challenge begrudgingly accepted. Begrudgingly. Ew.
Hey,
I feel like I'm obligated because it's my show. I feel like I'm obligated to accept these damn challenges.
Say it with your chest, Jackie Ray. Say it with your chest. Believe.
Accepted.
You gotta find. Listen, I know you don't want to admit this, but like I said, LeBron is coming to the twilight. So I know you're a Luka fan, but it might be time to look at like a Donovan Mitchell or Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
I'm not saying replace your love for the king, but still in all, So this could be a nice,
Nice segue.
Yeah, like Bobby, every little step you take,
right. You
forward.
trying to be this is you. It's broadening my horizon, so I don't give up on basketball when.
Exactly. Just don't move to Utah.
Right.
Don't
I'm black. I can't move to Utah.
I
So.
hope y'all ain't got no fans out there. Well, excuse me.
Right. You know we right though. You know we right. All right. So look at that. Both challenges have been accepted. Once again, I'm Jackie Ray. Kevin, tell everybody where they can follow you on social media.
Sure, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at 950kev, and every weekday morning, catch the best team in radio, 950 Lounge, including myself and plenty other players, 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern, multiple networks, iHeartRadio, Rough Riders Radio, and the brand I own myself, Backstage Radio, which Jackie Ray is part of, any event. So again, catch that show, and again, continued support to you, Jackie. Like I said, you need a good pair of sunglasses because your future's bright, and it's been fun. I thank you for the time.
Well, thank you. And for those of you who are fans of Challenge Accepted, let's all come together and begin our praying for Utah, because I can't take another one of these damn Michael Jordan.
Give me the higher glory. You better start shouting.
Right.
It's going down.
There. All right, you guys, we'll see you again next Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on the Fumble for Challenge Accepted. And don't forget to check us out Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for the Fumble Live. I'll see you next week.